Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I thought I would do a favorites video. I don't think I've actually ever done one, and I thought it would be fun to talk about some things that I've been loving because these are things that I really truly have just been enjoying so much, and some are replacing products that I never thought I would replace, and I don't think I've mentioned them on YouTube yet. I did cut my hair, my girlfriend did it. I like it, but I'm also not sure if it makes me look like a boy from the 18th century, so anyway, let's just fucking get into it. So I guess I'll just talk about this in like the order that I do my makeup. I don't know if that makes sense to me. The first thing that I'm going to talk about, I have used this on my channel. It's the Ordinary Coverage Foundation. I specifically use the shade 1N. First, right off the bat, they definitely can expand on their shade range, much like most other makeup companies. It's not the worst that I've ever seen, but definitely needs to be better. So looking at you, The Ordinary, I hope that they can expand their foundation range. I went into this product with little to no expectations, if not low expectations. I was like, I just bought it because honestly I needed free shipping, and I was like, $6, I'm just gonna get it, and it very much pleasantly surprised me. It has decent coverage, a solid medium. It has more of a natural finish. It's definitely not matte. It's not necessarily dewy. It just kind of looks like skin, and I find that it actually wears quite well. I didn't expect this to wear that well, just because it doesn't make any claims that it's, you know, gonna be long wearing in any way, but it wears a solid, I would say, like 6 hours before I feel like I get oily. And what I like about this is that it doesn't like break up or get weird. It just lets your oil through without separating or getting like really gross, which I really appreciate, and I find that a lot of foundations do that. I don't mind that it doesn't last like forever and ever and ever, because number one, like I said, it doesn't claim to do that, and with a non-matte foundation, that's about as good as I can honestly expect. And I don't mind having to blot or powder, especially now that I'm really not doing anything. Obviously, I think most of us aren't going anywhere, especially because this is $6 Canadian, so I imagine it would be even cheaper in USD. To have a foundation that you can just throw on, if you go through it, you don't feel like you're wasting a ton of money. I honestly would recommend checking this out if you can find The Ordinary, just because it is a full-size foundation. It's 30 mils, which is pretty standard. Yeah, like you don't have to go, even normal drugstore foundations are like fucking $20, which is still pretty expensive. So to have one that's actually relatively affordable, I would recommend checking this out for sure. The next product is also a base product. It's one that I've revisited. I used to have it, and it's the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. This is the shade 10 Fair. This is, I believe, the second latest shade. This is another fucking thing that needs to be really worked on. Maybelline just is relative, but I think within the last couple of years just expanded their shade range to include deeper shades, and they can go a fucking lot deeper. So I really hope that they do that, and soon. I bought this concealer because when I went into the field to do field work, I got a little bit of a tan, which is not normal for me, and I know that it's not going to last that long, so I didn't want to buy like an entire new foundation and concealer that was a shade deeper. This is a little bit deeper than my like regular foundation concealer shade, and so I just kind of put this all over my face, and it kind of deepens up my foundation a little bit, so it kind of matches the rest of my body, mostly my arms. My neck is still really pale, my arms are a little bit tan, so you know, I'm trying to look like I don't have just a totally like white face. But I'm remembering how good this concealer is. Definitely not full coverage. Not full coverage at all. It's like maybe medium evenly. I definitely have to go in with a different concealer to like cover up blemishes and stuff, but this under my eyes and all around my face is really, really beautiful. It has almost a glowy finish, but when you set it down, that kind of goes away, and I find that this just wears so beautifully. And this combination of products I've just been loving, especially for when I don't need to wear my makeup for like a super, super long time, but for times that I have either the opportunity to touch up my makeup or days that I don't need to have like a super locked in base. I really have been enjoying this. Again, with this, it lets oil through, but it doesn't break up, it doesn't get separated, it doesn't get gunky or anything. It really wears beautifully. The next thing that I've been loving, I recently picked up, is the Maybelline Lasting Fix Setting Spray. Now, don't ask me why, but for the past couple months, I was using a lot of dewy sprays. It's not something that necessarily made a ton of sense for me to use, but for the summer, I guess was really embracing having really dewy skin, and I was using the Pixie Glow Mist, so I used it up. I was like, I want something different. I picked this up, and I have forgotten how much I like having my makeup last and not look incredibly oily. While I do, I've grown to appreciate that look. This really locks your makeup in place. I forgot how much I craved that. I really, really like this. It obviously is a spray, so it does take away the powderiness of your makeup, but it doesn't make it look overly dewy. It also doesn't, I don't find, make your makeup look overly matte. Kind of just locks everything in, and I really, really love this. I feel like maybe if you have dry skin, you wouldn't like this, but if you're looking for a setting spray that actually prolongs the wear of your makeup, but doesn't make your skin feel super dry or look really matte, this is good. I'm honestly really pleasantly surprised by how much I love this. I kind of just bought it because I needed a new setting spray. I didn't really think much of it, but I've really, really been enjoying this. And now for two products that replace, I think right now, two brow products that I never thought I would ever replace. So the first one, we're really on the Maybelline fucking train today. It's the Maybelline Brow Ultra Slim Defining Pencil. I picked this up because, well, number one, I ran out of my NYX pencil, which is the one that I've used forever. It's the one that I've gone through so many of these, the NYX Micro Brow Pencil. I never thought that I would ever use anything else, but Jackie Ina talks a lot about this, and I was like, you know what? It is not, it's probably like $4 or more, $4 or $5 cheaper than the next one. I was like, let's just buy it. And I really have been enjoying it. Now, I don't know if I prefer the formula of this, but I prefer the price. And I can look past any issues that this may have because of that. This isn't bad. It's a little bit creamier than the next one. So I definitely prefer the NYX's formula better, just because it's a little waxier and a little bit harder, but I can definitely make this work. It's still really nice. It's really super fine, not that you can see, but it's the same like thinness as the NYX one, which is why I like the NYX one so much. It lasts all day, it doesn't disappear, and I've really been enjoying this. I also really like the color of this. Naturally, my hair is really warm toned, so the shade that I use in the next one is ash brown, and this I find to be a little bit too ashy, like too cool toned, so it doesn't necessarily match my brows super well or match my hair color super well. This is a lot warmer, so I feel like it matches my natural hair color a little bit better. Oh, this is the shade Soft Brown, by the way, if I didn't already mention that. For that reason, if you do struggle with brow pencils that are too warm toned, this might not be for you, but if you have really warm toned hair, I would check this out for sure. And then a brow gel that's new that I've been loving, that has been replacing my Annabelle Brow Show Eyebrow Shaping Gel. I never ever thought that I would find anything better than this. I've loved this for a long time, and this is probably the third tube that I've used. It's another Annabelle product. It's the Brow Fiber Gel. I originally bought this because this is empty. I ran out of this and I couldn't find it in the like Annabelle display, so I was in a rush. I just bought this instead, and I've been really loving it. It has a really tiny little wand a lot smaller than the other brow gel. This has a pretty like big, chunky, thick wand. I know a lot of people don't love that because if you have thinner brows or whatever, this might be a little annoying to use. Personally, I never had that issue, but if you did, this has a really thin wand similar to like Benefit Give Me Brow and stuff. It's like really, really tiny. It does have little fibers, as the name would suggest, but I don't think it makes your brows look overly like cakey or thick. Sometimes that can happen with brow gels, and it really holds your brows in place all day. I feel like my left eyebrow, the arch of my left eyebrow, the hairs are always falling down, and this really glues them in place. It also makes your brows look thicker, more full. I don't know, I think this is a really good brow gel from the drugstore. I think it's only in Canada, but if you are Canadian, check this out, it's really good. Okay, so now let's move into eyeshadow palettes. I have 4 here. I think I've talked about all of these more or less, so I'm just going to quickly run through them. The first one being the Lunar Beauty Moonspell palette. I recently posted a video on using this and the Gemini palette from Melt. And filming that video just made me realize how much I love this palette. I love the color story. I think it's so great, especially around this time of year, like fall, coming up to Halloween. I love every aspect of it. I specifically love the like glittery metallic shades. I think they're so beautiful. I won't talk about this too much because I have been talking about it a lot and it is limited edition. So if you can find it, I would recommend grabbing it and bringing it to your home. Another palette that I'm wearing on my eyes today that I've really truly been enjoying, particularly for this time of year, is the Dominique Cosmetics Berries and Cream palette. I did a video on this and I included this in my favorite palettes for fall, and I'm just thoroughly loving this so much. I've tested it out a lot more. I've been using it a lot recently, and I just think it's so good, especially for fall. The tones are very predictable, but really beautiful. Every time I like crave a really autumnal look, if you will, I've been reaching for this and I've been thoroughly enjoying it. Another palette that I want to give a shout out forever and always is the Safari Rain Colored Rain palette. Another palette that is perfect for this time of year. Obviously, I talked about this in my fall favorites or my best palettes for fall as well. I just love every aspect of this color story. Colored Rain's formula is so good. It's everything that I want in an eyeshadow palette. The shadows are pigmented, easy to blend. The metallics are so foiled and just delicious. It has every aspect of a fall color story that I could ever want. I have mustards, I have greens, I have teals, I have a shimmery taupe, golds, a bright orange. It's perfect. I love this. I know that this is available as singles on Colored Rain's website. If you want, because this palette is limited edition, if you wanted to have this color story, you still can't because you can buy it as singles. Again, I won't talk about that too much because I've talked about that before, but it's fucking good. It's so, so good. And then the last one is an old palette that I've been recently loving, that I've been revisiting. It's the Juvia's Place Zulu palette. I always tell myself every time I look at this that I need to play with it more, and this month recently I actually have been, and I'm reminded by how good it is. It's just, if you want a bright colorful shade, I just know that I'm going to find like the best version of it in here. If I want an orange, I know I'm going to find the best orange in here. If I want a teal, I know I'm going to find the best teal in here. Pink, purple, it's all great. I like this because it makes me play with more of my singles when I use it. It makes me more creative with my shadows. It's just so bright, so colorful, so fun, and I'm so glad that I finally got around to actually pulling it out of my collection. And I think if you're gonna have one colorful palette in your collection, let it be this one. And then for cheek products, I've talked about this. Again, I just did a review on Makeup Addiction Cosmetics, but this is kind of random, kind of specific, but so beautiful. This is the Makeup Addiction Cosmetics Holy Glow Volume 1 palette. But more specifically, while I do love all of these shades in this highlighting palette, this shade, Pink Champagne, I could cry by how beautiful this shade is as a blush topper. Anytime I wear any blush that is remotely close to the shade Peach, I put this on top. It's so beautiful, and I'm not really like a blush topper kind of person. Like, I'll use it if it's in a palette or if I'm trying to like use more of my highlighter palettes or whatever, but I specifically reach for this in my collection to use as a blush topper. And that's saying a lot. Like, on top of my fucking extra ass makeup routine, I will add another step to use this. If you are going to place an order for Makeup Addiction Cosmetics, get this palette because this shade is so fucking nice. Let me just swatch it. It's glowy, but not in an obnoxious, like, super blinding highlighter way. Like, are you kidding me? It makes our cheeks look juicy, look healthy, so beautiful. It has the most beautiful golden sheen, but that it's not gonna make your cheeks look orange. It's so nice. Ugh, I cannot get enough of this. It's so beautiful, and also would act as a really beautiful peachy highlighter if you have a deeper skin tone. So nice. Another product that I've been loving that I did a video on, check me out, fucking knocking out this content. It's the Propa Beauty Luminous Satin Lipstick, specifically in the shade Finesse. While I have been loving all of my Propa Beauty lipsticks to death, this shade is so nice. I feel like I have a really semi-challenging time. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh my god, it's so hard for me as a white girl to find a nude lipstick. No, but because I do have such fucking pale ass skin, I feel like a lot of nude lipsticks look too deep, or they lean like really strong undertone wise. Like they look really orange or really yellow or really pink. So this is beautiful. It does have like a touch of a yellow undertone, but because of that, I feel like it makes it almost more versatile. It's so comfortable to wear. It doesn't like dry my lips out. I don't have to worry about this like fading weird or smudging all over my face or getting patchy or anything. It's so, so nice. I don't have to wear a lip liner with this if I don't want to, but if I want to, I can. It makes your lips look really juicy and healthy without like you having to wear a gloss. It's nude where it doesn't take away from my eyeshadow, but not so nude that it looks like I'm dead. It's really just perfect. I can wear this with blue, I can wear this with green. Maybe I wouldn't wear it with like pink or purple, but I've been fucking loving this, and I would really recommend Propa Beauty lipsticks in general, but this has been my personal fave. And then revisiting the theme of rediscovering things that I've had for a while, and I'm just really truly developing a new love for them. This product, I feel like it's like you had a friend that, you know, you like you've been friends for a long time, and suddenly you just see them in a whole new light, and you're like, fuck, I wanna, like, let's date, let's do the deed, let's get together because you're my everything now. Quite possibly that was the worst analogy I could have ever made. But the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bombs, I feel like I've loved them for a long time, but I just, like, I don't know what it is. Recently, I've just felt some type of way about them that I've never felt before. I feel like we truly are reaching the apex of our relationship, and we're in it for the long haul. I love these. They make your lips look so juicy, so delicious. like glass-like, plush, perfect amount of pigment. They're not too pigmented, but they leave a little bit of color behind. I think it's because I've been wearing these more in videos, and when I look back on editing, I'm like, my lips look super fucking good. And every time that I think that I've been wearing these glosses, I just want to collect them all. I have the shade Fussy, which is a light pink, and then the shade Diamond Milk, which is like a clear with sparkle. Before you buy any other lip gloss, buy these. I know that they're so hyped up, but I just think they're so worth it. Okay, so, and I actually have a lifestyle favorite, which sounds super fucking weird, but I wanted to talk about these for a while because I just love it, but I've never had a reason to really before. But it's the magazine Bitch. I've been subscribed to it for like almost a year now, and I love it. I love it so much, and I just want to shout it to the rooftops, and I want everyone, if you are financially able, to subscribe to them because they're so good. Their tagline is a feminist response to pop culture, and I just wait impatiently every season for this to arrive on my doorstep. First of all, I mean, like, before anything else, the cover art is beautiful. Like, they're all works of art. If I didn't want to preserve these so much, I would like rip the covers off and put them all over my wall, because I think they're just like literally, like I said, works of art. And it's such a good magazine. The name and the tagline hadn't already explained it. It's like a radical feminist magazine. It's intersectional, it's poignant, it's just deep. It touches on, and I think the thing that I love so much about it is that they touch on so many issues or topics in like pop culture or just society in general, and analyzes them in a way that you don't think about. Like I said, it's intersectional, it's analyzing issues from all different perspectives. They always have, more often than not, authors of color, women of color, black authors. It discusses everything from love as a form of capital in 90 Day Fiancé, to ableism in queer spaces, to tentacle porn, to whitewashing in the publishing world. It makes you think about the messages that we are bombarded with in society every day. Really makes you think about all the intersections of privilege in so many different aspects of society and your life. And I just think, like I said, if you are financially able, I think it's made such a great addition to my life. And I just finished reading the fall 2020 issue, so it's kind of fresh in my mind. I was like, I really want to talk about this on my channel and give them some love. And I would really recommend everyone to check them out, because just 10 on 10. Okay, and now moving down from that train of positivity, I want to talk about two products that I fucking hate. The first one, everyone loves this, and I get it, but also no one warned me. This is the Monsieur Big, Lancome Monsieur Big Mascara. This is a sample. I think I got this like with points or something. And while this does make your eyelashes look fantastic, particularly my bottom lashes, I feel like they've never looked so luscious. But this flakes so badly. It's so bad. And I don't know why no one talks about this. I've just been using it up, particularly because, again, I'm not going anywhere. I'm in my house, so it's okay. But by the end of the day, even like 4 hours into wearing this, I have black flecks all over my face, and it's like, my makeup's done. It's set. I can't do anything about it, and I can't really smudge it away. It just gets like smudgy black all over my face. And for that reason, I would say don't buy this. Or at least get a sample, because you don't know. And I don't really have that problem even with the non-waterproof mascaras that often. And I don't know why no one talks about it with this mascara. I just don't get it. And then the last one has been a hatred for a while because I've been trying to use it up and I'm close to the end, but it's the Maybelline Eye Studio Gel Liner. So many people I feel like talk about this as like the best gel liner from the drugstore, and I just disagree so much. It transfers so horrifically badly. It's so bad. It doesn't like set down. It remains really tacky. I have to set it with the black eyeshadow every time I use it. I have to do my eyeliner in sections so I can like do some, set it down, and even then it still like makes a black like line in my crease. And some would ask, why don't you just buy a new one? And I don't know. Don't buy this. It's so bad. I hate it so much. I hate it so much. Okay everyone, and that concludes this video. Benedict Cumberbatch and I say goodbye to you. Hopefully this, I try not to include too many products, but the products that I have included I've been loving. I don't think you would be disappointed by them. So that's all I have to say before I talk your ear off even more. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time, hopefully. Bye. I honestly like, I don't know, I think it's, I don't, like literally, I don't know why. I have oily skin. Deliciousness.